Ramily, welcome into a brand new episode of the Rams Report presented by Prize Picks. As always, guys, on today's show, we're breaking down everything we learned from day one of Rams training camp. The Rams have reported to training camp out at Loyola Marymount University, and we've got a lot to discuss from the first day. Sean McVay commented on Aaron Donald. He commented on the plan for Matthew Stafford in training camp and what we're expecting for Puka Nacua over the next couple of days. And we also got some major news around Rams first round draft pick Ty Simpson today. Some news we've been waiting on for a little while. So a lot to break down on today's show from just the first day of Rams training camp. Make sure you guys are subscribed because we're going to be here covering every day of Rams training camp, getting you all the news you need to know from every single day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because we won't just be here through training camp. We're going to be here through the regular season as well. I cannot wait to get our game day watch parties going, get to watch some Rams football with all of you guys. But until we get to that, we've got to get through training camp. So let's talk today about everything we learned. Like I said off the top, we're going to start with the breaking news item. This one came out at, I want to say 11 today. Ty Simpson has officially and finally, might I add, signed his rookie contract with the Los Angeles Rams, becoming the final member of the first round of this year's draft to sign his rookie contract, the last of the quarterbacks as well to sign his rookie contract. It is a 4-year, $25.8 million contract. That salary is preset by the rookie scale. What is not preset by the rookie scale is his bonus payment and the timing thereof. That'll be $14.97 million. He will receive every penny of that today. So that is an enormous win for Ty Simpson in his camp, reflected pretty heavily by the win that Fernando Mendoza in his camp got with the Raiders recently. If you hadn't been following along with this, we'd kind of kept you guys up to speed on it if you're a long-term subscriber, but essentially, Ty Simpson and his agents, they were waiting on Fernando Mendoza's contract to come in, waiting to see how the Raiders would ultimately structure that bonus payment. The Raiders decided to give him everything up front, so the Rams will ultimately essentially end up doing the same thing, following suit behind Fernando Mendoza and paying the entire bonus payment up front for Ty Simpson as well. So good day to be Ty Simpson, and I would say good day to be the Rams as well as they get their future franchise quarterback, hopefully under contract for the foreseeable future. But let's keep rolling here. Let's talk Puka Nacua. Sean McVay today spoke to the media pretty extensively on a number of different topics, one of which was the 2023 draft class and where their extensions stand and how that will affect their participation in training camp. And the expectation from Sean McVay is that it won't at all affect their participation in training camp, although he says at this point, there's no solid news to announce around any of those contract extension discussions. So, of course, this would encompass guys like Puka Nacua, guys like Kobe Turner, guys like Byron Young, all of which are waiting on those extensions beyond their rookie deals, all of which are expiring free agents after this season. The Rams need to make some tough decisions around those guys. They haven't begun to do that yet. I am expecting to see that process start over the next couple of days. Very typical of the Rams to get guys back for training camp and then start to work on long-term extensions, typically seeing the most important ones get done in late August and early September as we roll towards the season. So I am expecting that we'll see a Puka Nacua deal in the next couple of weeks. I think that is the highest priority one for the Rams. It could literally come any day now, but I do expect that it will be done before the season begins. I know there's been some speculation that the Rams will let this one drag out into the season. I just don't ultimately think that'll be the case. Not that I think it would affect Puka Nacua's mindset or his preparation for this season. I think he's a much bigger person than that. I think he would handle things as a professional, but I do believe that the Rams just want to get this out of the way, that the Rams want to get this deal done as soon as humanly possible. And at the end of the day, Puka has not been a diva about this. Obviously, he's had his off-the-field issues this offseason. I'm not trying to put that aside. But Puka has been very much, as far as his contract goes, he's been buttoned up. You know what I mean? He's made all the right comments. He said, that's not the most important thing to me right now. I want to be in Los Angeles for the long term. I want to find a way to get a deal done. But obviously, I'm more focused on my play right now than I am on a contract extension. That's something he's going to let his agents handle. I think that's the right mentality for a guy guy like Puka to just be like, you know what? I know my body of work speaks for itself on the football field. I'll let the guys in the suits go handle my contract in the front office, and I'll just keep focusing on balling on the football field. There's no reason for me to sit out of practice. We're going to keep talking everything you need to know from day one of Rams training camp in just 1 minute, guys. But before we do that, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, as the good people over at Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Guys, if you ever watched the Rams Report before or anything Chat Sports, I know you know all about Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. But if you're brand new to our show or to Chat Sports in general, there is no better place to turn your ball knowledge into cash than with our friends over at Prize Picks. Guys, the easiest way to play daily fantasy. The app is super easy to use. All you have to do to put together your daily fantasy lineup, one just like this one that I got going right next to me, is pick from 2 to 6 players. You're selecting more or less on their stat projections. Like this projection I got going on here is a professional football season long lineup. So I've got Sam Darnold needs to go for 1 400-yard game for us. We need less than 10 starts from Fernando Mendoza. We need more than 900 yards from Jamison Williams. You can see a number of different aspects of this lineup. You guys can put together a lineup of your own or tailor fade mine on the Prize Picks app. Just drop a follow on my username at Jackson Durham, and you'll see all of my latest lineups before I even put them out on the show for you guys. And again, if you're a brand new user to Prize Picks, they've got a brand new offer for you. Play your first $5 and get $150 in bonus lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. Prize Picks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win that first $5 lineup. As always, thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Let's get back to talking about what we learned from day one of Rams training camp. And now we've kind of covered off the 2023 draft class, still kind of in a holding pattern around their extensions. Obviously some good news with Ty Simpson finally getting his deal done. Let's start to talk what we heard, about QB1 today. This is exactly what I was expecting and hoping to hear. Sarah Barshop, who did and always does a fantastic job. She was killing it out there in the Rams media pool today. I heard guys that I know that were out there personally, just she was flying around the room. She was tweeting every single news story out, and she had this one on Matthew Stafford that the expectation is going to be going forward, rest days will be built into his schedule. And we already know he did not, or will not, participate tomorrow during the Rams' first actual practice session on Sunday. That will be one of his first rest days. He'll also have another rest day built in on day 3 on Tuesday. So you see already there's a bit of a resting pattern here. And this is smart by this Rams organization. We've talked about this in the past, but they approached last season with so much caution around Matthew Stafford. Again, of course they did. His back was a serious concern. We didn't really know exactly how big of a concern it was going to be. There were questions from some people about whether or not he would even be able to play at all. Remember, if you rewind time, I know it's hard to imagine for a guy who went out and won the MVP. But think about the way that they approach that now. You know, you had an offseason where Matthew Stafford got more rest than ever because injury precaution forced it. And then he goes out and plays the best season of his career. So from a Rams perspective, you're like, all right, how do we recreate the conditions that happened last season? How do we recreate the conditions that produced the best season of Matthew Stafford's career? Well, what was a key element of it? Extra rest in the offseason, extra rest in training camp. Even if it wasn't for the reasons that they expected it to ultimately be, there wasn't a thought around like, okay, let's rest Matthew Stafford so he performs better. It was let's rest Matthew Stafford so that he doesn't hurt his back, so that his back isn't in danger here. But now they've kind of clicked on something. They're like, okay, wait, Matthew Stafford's played almost 20 years in the NFL. Does he need to practice every day in training camp to be 100% ready? Or is it more of a diminishing return situation if we have this guy practice every single day? And you know what? They're not just applying that mindset to Matthew Stafford. They're applying that mindset to Davante Adams as well, who, as he said today, is a teenager in this league now, is entering his 13th season in the NFL. Congratulations to number 17 on that, by the way. One of the greatest receivers to ever do it. But again, someone who's getting up there in age as far as the NFL is concerned. Not in real life, my man. You're not getting up there in age in real life, but in the NFL, absolutely. And so he needs to be more protective of his body as he heads into training camp, just like Matthew Stafford is. And we're seeing that from the Rams. We're seeing them understand, you know what? There's a smart tactical element here to resting our most important guys, or some of our most important guys who are getting up there in age as training camp goes. Davante Adams and Matthew Stafford are gold jacket guys. At the end of the day, like, practice helps everybody, but if there's anybody that can afford to miss a couple days of it at this point in their careers, it's them. And so I think this is such a smart strategy. I really do. I think it's something we're going to see more teams try to emulate going forward, is resting with their older guys on the roster, allowing their older guys to kind of set and dictate their own schedules and do work independently that more suits their tempo at this point in their careers. I think the Rams are ahead of the curve, as always. I think the Rams continue to be an organization that is willing to do things like this that other organizations maybe initially kind of side eye and are like, I don't know, that's a guy missing practice. But the Rams understand that they see the forest through the trees. You know what I mean? They see the big picture of this whole situation. And I think they approach things so smartly in a number of different ways. But this is just another example of the way that our culture under McVay has just been built so soundly. Let's keep rolling through today's video. This one is super fun. Again, for the second year in a row, Kevin Dotson has dyed his hair with the Rams horn into his head. What do you guys think? Should I do this too? Do you guys think I should go blue and white on the side of my head? I think it's a dope look for Kevin Dotson. I'm joking a little bit. I'm not going to dye the blue and white horn into the side of my head, but he's doing a little fearsome white theming with it as well, given the new alternate uniforms. I am very, very excited about those. And again, Kevin Dotson, one of the best acquisitions of the Snead era, one of the most underrated acquisitions of the Snead-McVay era. And if you don't know his story, a guard that just didn't really have a ton of success in Pittsburgh, didn't really match what they needed in their scheme. Sean McVay identifies the talent, looks at him, and, he goes, that could be a great guard for our zone run game. Brings him in, and he ends up just being an absolute baller. Huge fan of KDOT, huge fan of that acquisition for this Rams team and everything that it's helped build for us. That's the biggest pieces. Oh, you know what? We got to talk Aaron Donald. I totally forgot. Okay. And the reason I totally forgot is because, to be completely honest with you guys, there isn't really much new news around Aaron Donald. I know you probably saw a bevy of reports come in after McVay commented on Aaron Donald. Again, and it's exactly what he told us the last time. It's exactly what we heard from Tony Pastores just the other night at the Rams Revealed Live event. The Rams continue to allow Aaron Donald to go through his process. The Rams would be more than happy to have Aaron Donald back. And McVay added the kind of caveat, I guess this is the one real new thing. The Rams are going to do whatever it takes to bring back Aaron Donald. But I mean, at the end of the day, we knew this would be true. We knew the Rams were not going to allow a cap situation to prevent them from bringing back a franchise legend. They will make it happen. They will make maybe some, I don't know if the word is ill-advised restructures they wouldn't otherwise make at the very least to create the money needed to bring back Aaron Donald. There's plenty of ways to do it. There's plenty of ways to get to that Aaron Donald point for them, and they'll absolutely make it happen. So again, I'm not surprised that Sean McVay said that, but he also said, I genuinely have no idea whether or not Aaron Donald is coming back. I genuinely have no idea when Aaron Donald is coming back. And he kind of told the media, just stop asking about it for right now, which I'm sure for a lot of you, you're relieved by that. I'm sure a lot of you are getting to the point, which, hey, I'm kind of getting there too. We just kind of want to stop hearing about it until it actually happens. And I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, every time there's news around this, we are committed to bringing you guys news around the Los Angeles Rams. So I'm going to keep updating you guys every time we are hearing about Aaron Donald, because it's Aaron Donald, man. I mean, he's the greatest Ram of all time. We've got to talk about him when there's news about him potentially coming back. But that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Rams Report. Again, hit that subscribe button if you made it to this point and you're not already a member of our Ramily here on the channel, because clearly you're dialed in on Rams training camp news. You're an absolute real one, and we want you on board. So I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. We're going to be breaking down more Rams news. I'll see you then.